Hello, it's Meek again. How's it going? Um, it's been a while. I hope you guys are having a good year, and I hope you're all having a happy new year for the start. Now, I've actually seen something that has caught my eye on the internet for the past 5, 6, or 7 years. Something called the red pill. And of course, this caught my attention because it kind of reminded me of the first time I watched The Matrix with characters like Neo, who met Morpheus. Morpheus in that very famous scene, nobody can obviously forget this. He gives him the blue pill, which means that you'll be walking amongst the rest of society as sheep and unfazed by anything that's going on in the world. Or you take the red pill, you see the ugly truth of the world and the reality behind it. And this is a reference to being awake to the new world, to globalization, or should I say what was known as back then as the New World Order, currently known as the Great Reset. Now, here's another thing I'd like to that stands out to me is that the red pill is basically about discussing how evil female nature is according to the internet, which has been a growing trend for the past 7 years. Since 2014, I've seen this, and it's been very prevalent for me, at least. It's about how evil female nature is and how no one should get married, um, and because of the corruption and divorce courts and family courts and how they always favor the woman over the man, and basically it kind of took a life of its own when it went into this horrible direction of these alpha male dating coaches who con the youth, and they con their consumers and customers into believing that all women are evil, all women deserve to be this and that, and it just turns the people who are promoting these, who are buying into these lies called the red pill lies by these alpha male or these red pill coaches. I mean, from what I've seen, the red pill was getting popular, but as it's being exposed, the red pill is the dead pill now. So it's a little bit weird how or the red pill, which was once a reference of waking up and being aware of the real corruption of the New World Order or the Great Reset is all about. It went from something political, a reference to something that's quite frankly political, a political agenda, to something that's about female nature, and supposedly it was meant to be a sign of men's empowerment over the internet. But it has actually weakened men because men are just bitter people now because of this red pill philosophy thing. Men are just bitter people who want absolutely nothing to do with women, and they don't seek a connection of any kind with women, and they themselves are always talking about how evil the female nature is. And it's somehow given the impression for a lot of these men who bought into these red pill lies that all women are somehow evil. There are 4.5 billion women in this planet. You mean to tell me that the majority of women are evil? You don't even know. You haven't met all 4.5 billion women in this world. So how would you even know that? Beats me. So I find it a little bit funny how a reference from The Matrix, which was actually a scene from The Matrix, which happened to be a scene that was referencing, you know, uh, raising awareness of the corruption known as the New World Order, or should I say the Great Reset, as I have learned of this just recently, like a few months, like 2 months ago. To, it's funny how it went from being a reference of a political agenda to a movement that is pretty much against, like, supposed evil female nature. And at least the good thing is it encourages men to find their own purpose and actually motivates them to do better so that they can find their own purpose and um, live to fulfill your passion by fulfilling your purpose and your dreams. So at least that's one aspect that's good. But the fact they just keep talking about how women are evil, they're selfish, they're self-centered, they're this and that. I mean, there are 4.5 billion women in this world. So if the majority of them are evil, then the world is doomed. But in a nutshell, all I would like to say that much to my dismay, as far as eye catching as the name Red Pill has been and how trendy it has been, turns out it has been nothing but a bunch of propaganda, nothing but a scam to delude men into believing that you know this is how men should be. And as far as this red pill thing, I've also started to notice that the term alpha male is used so loosely on the internet, especially here on YouTube. So I find it a little bit weird how everybody's saying like alpha male this, alpha male that. And people have this idea that alpha males are these cold-hearted, stone-hearted guys who, are just evil and just like, don't have a sense of compassion. They don't show emotion or whatever. An alpha male is someone who's very compassionate, but at the same time strong in his will and strong in having the ability to stand his ground. An alpha male has those qualities. And they say that marriage is not an alpha male thing to do. Alpha males are famous for getting married. So I find it a little bit weird how everyone on the internet is saying like, getting married is not an alpha thing. I mean, having kids, that's not considered supposedly beta. That's like, a man's desire and a woman's desire. For most men and women, it's their desire to have kids. So I find it a little bit weird how everyone's saying like, it's so beta to get married. I mean, if you want to go have accidents slash bastard children, go right ahead. But the way I see it, it's like you can't sit here and tell me that being married is considered a beta thing to do. Maybe it's not in everyone's desire, but you don't go around saying that it's a beta thing to do. It's only something a supposed simp does. Because only a simp will string a girl along and play games with her by saying like, oh, I'm in a committed relationship, but I'm not going to marry her. You have, and I have to call these guys out, who are supposedly red-pilled. Those guys who call themselves red-pilled are usually very delusional people, by the way. They really are, and I'm not kidding when I say this. They say that marriage is beta. They say that loving a woman is beta. They say like being in love is a beta thing to do. They say love is a lie, which is ridiculous because let's face it, men can't survive without love. Most people can't, unless you are a loner or someone naturally stone-hearted or cold-hearted. Then that you're an exception, but you're not the majority. So I find a little bit weird how a lot of these red pill guys out there on the internet who are making money by deceiving the youth, and I have to call them out. You have losers like AMS, you have Steffes Cole, you have MJ Get It Right. Well, he gets everything wrong from the looks of it, and you also have FitX Fearless or whatever his name is, and he's not a fearless person at all. What they all have in common is being muscular guys who are nothing but wimps on the inside. And they're frauds. That's all that they are. And those so-called red-pilled guys are nothing but a bunch of losers who have had a bad history with women, and they have daddy issues. That's what most red-pill guys are. And they target the audience by telling them stuff that they think that they want to hear, and it sounds like it's good. And you have these fake reviews claiming like, oh, you changed my life, Steffes Cole. Tom Leykis saved my life, or whoever, But these are all pathological liars, and they're con artists. So this red pill thing, originally was a reference from The Matrix, sending a message about exposing globalization and the New World Order. But it's all about like how evil female nature is and men finding their own purpose. I agree with the men finding their own purpose, but I don't agree with the fact that all women are evil. It's just pathetic. Because that sounds like you are bitter, and it sounds like you're destined to be a lonely fool for the rest of your life. If you want to be single for the rest of your life, be alone forever, that's fine. But nobody wants to be lonely. And there's a difference between being alone and lonely. Alone means that you're comfortable being with yourself and enjoying your own company. Being lonely feels like you feel like nobody's there and nobody wants you and nobody will ever remember you. It's like those kind of things that come into like the mentality or the thoughts of loneliness. But this red pill philosophy thing, this red pill movement, it's a very fraudulent movement. Just like Black Lives Matter, just like the Proud Boys, just like a lot of other things. So I'm sorry to say this, but the red pill movement is a dead pill. The red pill is the dead pill, and it's nothing more than a bowel movement. So, you know, send me here. You can put down your comments and tell me what you guys think. Um, and as far as calling out those guys, I'm sorry if I got a little too personal. If it seemed like a low blow. Actually, I'm not sorry. Anyway, you take it easy, guys.